morning. It's pretty quiet here, so I don't want to talk too much, but it's been a really nice campsite. A lot of wildlife. There's prairie dogs right behind us and over there as well. And heard coyotes like throughout the night, and we saw bison as soon as we got here. Not really close to the campsite, thankfully, but there is some evidence of bison just over there, so I guess in the night they did come pretty close to our campsite, which is just crazy. But we're gonna go ahead and start doing the loop around Badlands and look at some of the scenery. Yeah, don't leave things in the tent because it's really difficult to get them out. When most people talk about Badlands, they talk about this. They talk about the amazing landscape. It honestly looks like the surface of the moon. But this morning, I just can't believe how much wildlife we've seen. We've seen bison, we've seen prairie dogs, we've seen deer, we've seen rabbits, we've seen coyotes. I mean, it's just been such an amazing place for wildlife, and it just wasn't what I expected. It's just been such an amazing morning. We've just driven from our campsite, the Sage Creek campground. Really nice campsite, by the way. It was just really quiet. Like, all the people were very respectful. Lots of wildlife around as well. So it's a primitive campsite. So just keep that in mind if you want to come. There's no facilities at all, and there's just a vault toilet. So that's what you have to work with. But that's fine for us because we like doing off-road. We like doing off-grid camping anyway. So yeah, just been really pleasantly surprised with Badlands. So yeah, I just can't wait to see more. Pretty sure this is the only country in the world where you watch TV while you pump gas. I don't even know. So my driving shift is done. We are in Montana now, which is a state that I've been wanting to go to for a really, really long time. Strider keeps sneaking forward. I've been driving for about 2.5, 3 hours, something like that, on a very long highway, which has been kind of boring. It is really beautiful scenery, but it's kind of just the same scenery after a while. I think we both agreed that this is definitely the state that, like, when you talk about wide open spaces and like cowboys and like the American West, like, this is it. It's just so much land. It's crazy. We're staying in Billings tonight, Billings, Montana. Trying to make a couple stops on the way. Wanted to just say some thoughts on Badlands. Mentioned before, but I think Badlands was like, I didn't really expect much from it. I just expected like some really interesting looking landscapes and like looking at fossils and stuff, but it was really amazing for wildlife, which is something that I never expected. The reason is because most of the people just go on like the paved loop that kind of goes around Badlands, but we went off on like a kind of a cattle road that wasn't paved, and that was where we had to go to our campground anyway. But that was where we saw like the majority of wildlife. And I actually learned that when I went to the visitor center, the main visitor center, there's like a little museum that kind of talks about Badlands and the landscape and the history of it. And I learned that what we were looking at were not deer, they were pronghorn antelope, which is the first time I've ever seen those. So that was really interesting. Unfortunately, it's closed. Sad. It's over there. Beautiful area though.